This is a CCEA Maths paper, so this is the Unit M6 Paper 2, the one with calculator, and it is from Thursday the 6th of June 2019. Let's take a wee look then at question 1. Part of the sequence of triangular numbers is shown. Which triangular comes directly before 21? There's a wee pattern to these. The triangular numbers look like this. Here's the first one. This isn't necessarily relevant to the question. Here's the second one, but you can see they form a wee pattern. 6. It always reminds me of snooker balls or pool balls or something like that, the pattern that they make. So that's 1, 3, 6 and 10. And then if you add on, so you're adding on 2 to this one, add on 3, add on 4, add on 5, so that one would be 15. So the number just before 15, because the next one then, if you add on 6, gets you to 21. So you're adding on one more each time, so the number then is 15. I mean, the other way to work this is just look at the pattern and look at the gap every time. So that's 11, that's 10, that's 9, that's 8, that's 7, so you take off 6 and we'll get you 15 as well. But it's just to try and remind you of triangular numbers. Write down the smallest triangular number which is greater than 100. So we've added on 11 here, so we need to add on 12 to get us then to 78. We need to add on 13, which gets us then to 91, and then we need to add on 14 to get us to 105. So 105 is the smallest triangular number that's greater than 100. Joe has 12 pints of oil. How many litres is this? And so we need to do 12 multiplied by 0.568. I think you can see it better if I lean it that way, hopefully. And that gives us 6.816. Jan has 15 litres of oil. How many pints is this? So it's going to be now 15 divided by 0.568. And that gives us then 26.4, I suppose would do us in for that. Explain how to change the weight in pounds into kilograms. Well, if pounds and kilograms, there's generally 2.2 pounds in a kilogram. So we would then say divide by 2.2. But 2.2 is the number that we need to remember. Question 3. Tickets numbered from 1 to 81 are placed in a hat. What is the probability the winning ticket is the number 70? Well, that then would be 1 out of 81. What's the probability the winning ticket is a number bigger than 70? Now just be careful of this. I nearly feel like you're better just kind of counting these out as you go. So bigger than 70, so you can have 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and then 81. So there's 11 of them. So the answer then would be 11 over 81. Explain why the probability of the winning ticket having an even number is not a half. Well, they aren't the same. There's a different amount. So there's not an equal number of odd and even numbers. Question 4, we have 2 spinners, each one spun once, show all the possible outcomes. So here we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, that's them here, and then 1, 2 and 3 on this one. So these are written 1, 1, 2, 1, so this is going to be a 4, 1 down here. 1, 2, 3, 2 and 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 and 4, 3. Next question, what's the probability of getting the same number on each spinner? So you get a 1, 1, a 2, 2, or a 3, 3. So that's 3 different options then out of 12. So it would be 3/12, which cancels then down to a quarter. What's the probability of getting a bigger number on A than on B? So how many options are we going to have here? Let's see. This one is bigger on A than B. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those, the A number is bigger than the B number, so that's going to be 6 out of 12. So it would be 6 over 12, and that cancels down then obviously to a half. In a choir there are 36 female and 24 male singers. Write down the ratio of female to male singers in its simplest form. So it's 36 to 24, and you want to divide that down as best you can. So I can see, you can divide them by 2 if you want and just work your way down, but I can see that 12 goes into both of those. So it's going to be 3 to 2. I have that. Enlarge the shape by scale factor 3. It's not on a coordinate plane or anything here, so there's no center of enlargement or anything like that, so we just need to make it 3 times bigger. This is 3 along, so we need to make it 9 along. I'm going to start here. Just pick somewhere at random to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope that's 9. Just we check. This is 1 high, so now it needs to become 3. This is 2, so it needs to be 6. And the rest we can kind of fill in from here, but if not, just keep counting your squares and times and everything by 3. And we end up with that. The graph shows Ryan's journey from Madden to Shildon and back to Madden, so we can see it all here. Let's see what questions we're being asked about it. During the total journey, for how long was Ryan not moving? So he wasn't moving in this wee bit here, and he wasn't moving in this wee bit here, so we just need to work out our scale and see what we have here. So that's 8, that's 9 o'clock, so each of those in must be 15 minutes. So that's a 15, that's 15, 15, 15, so 4 15s in are going to be 60 minutes. How far is Ryan from Maiden at 9:30? So 9:30 is here. So we need to go up to this point here. And then we're going to go across. It looks like it's pretty much halfway along that square. So let's see if we can calculate that. That's 50, that's 60, so that's 55. So halfway between 50 and 55 must be then 52 and a half. So our answer then is 52 and a half. Calculate the average speed for the whole journey. State the units of your answer. So he travelled from here to here, which is 75 kilometers and then 75 back. So that means he travelled 150 kilometers. We have that. The time that he took, he started at 8:15 and he finished at 11:45. So that's a total of 3.5 hours. So what did he travel? He travelled 150 in 3.5 hours, so we want to do 150 divided by 3.5. 150 divided by 3.5 gives us then 42.9 if you want. 42.9. Now what are we in here? Let's be careful. So that was 150 and that was kilometers. And then that was hours. I haven't changed this in the minutes or anything. So that's going to be kilometers per hour. Question 8. There are 32 pupils in a class, and they were all present on Monday. On Monday, the teacher asked each pupil their favourite colour. She recorded the results for green, blue and yellow accurately in a table. Give a reason why the total number of boys and girls in the table is not 32, because it only comes to 25. Well, it could be plenty of reasons. Someone didn't have a favourite colour, or their favourite colour wasn't one of those 3. So some pupils have no favourite colour would be fine for that. There are 18 girls in the class. What is the probability that a girl said the colour blue? Well, if there were 18 girls in the class and 5 said blue, then our answer is going to be 5 out of 18. What is the probability that a pupil in the class did not say green? So we're looking for totals here now. So how many said green? 7 said green, and there are 32 in the class. Just be careful here, they're trying to trick you here with this 25, but it's a pupil in the whole class. So we're going to do 32 take away 7, which of course gives 25, and so our answer then should be 25 out of 32. Okay, the diagram shows a regular nonagon, so that's 9 sides with an isosceles triangle DCJ attached. Angle DJC is 30. Calculate the size of the angle EDJ. It's a fairly tough question. We need to find this angle here. I'm going to do a couple of wee calculations and see if we can work out all the way around it, and then we'll take away these two values and we're left with this. So first of all, our isosceles triangle, if that is 30, then these two must add to 180 take away 30, which is 150. That means each of these needs to be 75. We only need the bottom one there, so they're both 75, so that's us started for there. Next one I'm going to try and work out is this one here. So our rules of polygons is the exterior angles of a polygon always add the 360. So this one plus this one plus this one, and all 9 of them must add the 360 because it's regular, they're all the same size. So if we do 360 divided by 9, that gives 40 degrees. So how does that help us? If that's 40 and that's a straight line, it means the interior angle must be 140. So that angle there is going to be 140 degrees, and we're almost there. Now there are other ways of working out the interior angle of a nonagon, but that's probably the most straightforward one. That's 140 and that's 75. So our angle EDJ then is going to be 360 take away 140 plus 75. That gives us what, 215, and taken away then it was 145 degrees. So a fairly tough one. Question 10. Sue bought 100 mils of sun cream in Belfast for £5.40, while in Spain she bought 150 mils for €8.80. The exchange rate was 1 to 107. Was it better value in Belfast or Spain? Loads of different ways of tackling this one. I'm just going to go straight and convert this into pounds, and then, sorry, I think the light's just gone out, hopefully you can still see, and then we'll suss out then from there. So I'm going to go for 8.80 divided by 1.07 is going to give us £8.22. So that's good. It's got everything now in the same currency at least. Now remember, it's not the same amount. So this is 150 mils, and so we need 100 mils worth. So hopefully you can see if you divide there by 3 and times by 2, we'll get then the equivalent price. So we're going to do 8.22 divided by 3 and times by 2. It's a bit like finding 2/3 of it. Same thing. Divided by 3 equals times by 2 equals, and that gives us £5.48. And that would be for 100 mils. So it's 100 mils. Let me see. So for 100 mils in Spain it was £5.48. For 100 mils in Belfast it was £5.40. So the answer then is in Belfast. So you can see that down here. Loads of different ways of doing that one, but I think that's probably the most straightforward. Question 11. The probability of some results are recorded in the table. What is the probability of a fail? So we need to add these together. I'm going to change them all into 20. It's just beside it here. So that's going to be 10 over 20. That would be 6 over 20. So probability of a fail is 1 minus 10 over 20 plus 6 over 20 plus 1 over 20. 10 and 6 and 1 is 17 over 20, taken away from 1, then it gives me 3 over 20. What's the probability of a credit or a distinction? So that's 6/20ths and 1/20th. So 6/20ths, luckily I've already converted it, they say, so it makes my life easier. So it's going to be then 7/20ths. Question 12, simplify m to the 5 multiplied by m3. We bit of working out for this. We would like to say is that's m to the 8 divided by m to the 2. And then remember, we're subtracting here. Please don't divide those two powers, you subtract them, and it gives us then m to the power of 6. Work out the nth term of the sequence 6, 3, 0, minus 3. So I number these 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I find the gap, and it's going down by 3 each time. That means it's a minus 3n. So that's the first bit of my formula for the nth term. I then put in the number 1. Minus 3 times 1 gives me minus 3, but I want 6, so I need to add 9 to that. So my formula is going to be minus 3n plus 9. We think it's always good to check these things. Let's try it with the number 4, for example, to make sure we get the right answer. Minus 3 times 4 gives me minus 12 plus 9, which is minus 3. So that does work. So minus 3n plus 9 is our answer to this. Question 14, you should be ashamed of me because I don't have a compass with me, and this is very much a compass question, but I'll show you how to do it without that, and hopefully we're okay. These are the dimensions here. That's 9 centimeters, that's 7 centimeters. Shade the region inside the rectangle, which is the locus of all the points that are greater than 4.5 centimeters from C. So here's what you need to do. You need to get your compass and set it to 4.5 centimeters. You put the pointy bit on here. Let's see if I can get something that's vaguely accurate here. That's really not too bad actually. So you get your compass and set it to 4.5, and once you set it to 4.5, you would then do your little quarter circle here, which would be that, and it should then look exactly like that. Again, many apologies, I don't have my compass with me. So that's your first bit. Greater than 4.5 centimeters from C, that means it's outside in this wee bit here. And then nearer to B than D, we need to find effectively the perpendicular bisector then of this line here. So this can be a wee bit complicated. So again, I'll show you what it is you're supposed to do. Some people like to join these things up. You don't necessarily need to join them up, but that's okay. We then need to set our compass to more than halfway along this line. So how's this going to work? You would put the pointy bit here, and then more than halfway along this line, you would then do a wee compass stroke like this. So you can see that your compass, if you put the pointy bit here, it would go then to there. I'll just do a wee calculation here to make things a bit easier. And then, you, without changing your compass, you put the pointy bit here and draw a line then like that. Where these two things cross each other is the line that you need to draw in. This is the line that decides whether you're closer to B or D. And so that's that line there. So what is it we need to find? Greater than 4.5 centimeters from C, so it's anything outside this, and then nearer to B than D. So the bit that's nearer to B than D is on this side here of this line. So the bit they want you to shade in. So that's nearer to B than D, and it's greater than 4.5 centimeters away then from C. And that's the bit then that they're looking for. Of course, you need a compass to do it properly, and apologies again for that. Question 15, use trial and improvement to solve the following equation. X cubed take away 3x gives you 11. Give your answer correct into one decimal place. You just make a reasonable guess at it and see how you get on. So let's try the number 2. So 2 cubed is going to give me 8. Take away 3. Take away 6. So 8 take away 6. So that's going to give you 2. So that's going to be too small. So we try a bigger number, so we'll try 3. 2 cubed is going to be 27. take away 9, that's 18. So that's going to be too big, so we need to kind of try numbers in between. So let's try 2.5. Going to need the calculator now. 2.5 cubed, take away, gives me 8.125. So that's too small. Try 2.6. 2.6 to the power 3. Take away 3 times 2.6. That gives me 9.776. Still too small. I think I'm getting there though. Let's try 2.7. $11.583. Okay. So I suspect the answer is going to be 2.7, but this isn't going to give you full marks at the minute. So this is too big. We have to find halfway in between these two just to make sure. So it's 2.65 is a number we most definitely need to check. So 2.65 to the power 3. Take away 3 times 2.65. And that gives me 10.65. 10.66. And the fact that this is low means then it needs to be on the higher side. So it means then my answer is going to be 2.7. But even though it says give your answer to 1 decimal place, we always need to check the 2 decimal places just to check and see which side of it it's going to lie on, because it isn't always the case that even though it's closer here that it's going to be, you know, actually 2.7. We need to check with the halfway one. Okay, so 2.7 then is the answer I would put in here.